We embarked on our fortnightly fishing excursion from Unkah to the west. Our crew consists of Timon, Koini, Timulus and Loretta. All is in order. It's been smooth sailing to deeper waters. I caught 3 nets of manta rays. Today I fish some more. Not sure why I have to do these. We sailed further towards the Karamnian coast in search of sharks. But we passed more debris than usual. There must have been a storm recently. There's a distinct lack of fish. It's almost eerie. We spotted a storm on the horizon. We adjusted our course to get away from it. The wind has suddenly shifted. There's a storm heading in our direction. We can't outrun it. It's too dangerous to anchor. We will have to weather it. There's huge waves and thick fog. It's the strongest ever. It's dark. There's lightning. Our sails are in bad shape. There's a fish glowing with eyes. It has a twisted face. These are the last words of a ship's log from a ship called the Desert Trout. And the rest of the pages have been soaked and are too smudged to read. The rest is a mystery. This is Bookworm, a brand new game mode where you unlock Runescape by collecting books, with each book unlocking a new zone and content. Starting as a fresh Ultimate Iron Man, I'll travel zone by zone, making some tough decisions, and unlocking only what lore allows, with one master goal in mind: collecting all books in old school Runescape. Welcome to Bookworm. We have just unlocked the runes of Unkah and are therefore stuck here until we've collected the fish barrel and explored the 3 books tied to this zone, one of which we just mentioned during the intro. The runes of Unkah are ancient runes in the Caridian desert, long forgotten and abandoned, yet now inhabited by a mysterious group called the Spirit Anglers. They have set up camp to investigate the nearby Temporos Cove. The crew of the Desert Trout, from the intro, washed up on the shore of Unkah after their ship was sunk by a sea spirit. They reported the incident to Chancellor Hassan, after which he formed the Spirit Anglers in response. Their accumulated research is noted in the Spirit Angler research notes. But before we dive into those notes, let's explore the runes of Unkah. I can't believe we're already diving into the next zone, and this story is so great. We are actually here. Look at what the Spirit Anglers already built. It's a beautiful settlement. Oh, and they're fighting the sea spirits, but we're going to explore this zone. We have a cooking fire next to a place to unload. That's super great. What else do we have? We have nets now, so we can actually start training fishing. Speaking of, this shop unlocks the whole scale for us. We have every fishing tool we need, and we even have access to feathers, which is great for our arrow shafts. Now, it's actually pretty cool is that the crew from that Desert Trout story are just hanging out here. So if you don't really want to read the book, you can still go through the whole story by just talking to them. We've reached the south of this little settlement, but the zone doesn't stop here. The ruins of Unkah has a small abandoned village below it, and it actually holds some interesting stuff. First and foremost, it has goats, which drops horns, and we can make those into goat horn dust. Those are used for herb lore and combat potions. However, I am most excited about this thing, the loom. We have unlocked a loom, and that's amazing for when we start sailing. Now obviously the biggest part of this zone is the minigame, killing Temporos, and that's also where we dive into the story. But to be able to do that we need level 35 fishing, so we have some training to do. Level 20 fishing with shrimp and anchovies. We can move on to Barbarian Village for, of course, fly fishing. One of the best experience per hour in the game. Oh, this should be fast.
I need to tap my rod every few seconds, otherwise the world explodes.
It's always the great iconic places where you get great conversations. Okay, I gotta try something here, Could you subscribe to the channel, please? Come on, we gotta have a marketing some way, right? My husband just subscribed! Ooh, ooh. Won't you be kind and be like Grindy Gal's husband, will ya? The sub button is right there. We're level 35 fishing, and that means we are ready for Temporos, baby. Let's open the story. Temporos, the spirit of the sea. Ongoing research by the spirit anglers. The spirit of the sea is referenced in many diaries and logs throughout the ages, as well as in tales passed down through generations of fisherfolk. We, the spirit anglers, have reviewed many such sources in an effort to gain an accurate picture of what this elemental entity, Temporos, really is. Alongside literature review, we are conducting ongoing studies during our trips to subdue the entity. These notes are part of an evolving collection of findings and theories based on the information we are continuously gathering. Now let's start with the literature review. The verbal tales referencing a sea spirit appear to have almost been forgotten. A few variations remain, and the sources we interviewed believe them to be myths and cautionary tales. There is, however, some written reference of other versions existing, perhaps ages ago, and some even believe the tale to reference a spirit that existed sometime during the First Age. From these tales, it is unclear what the motives of the spirits were. Some claim it to be a chaotic spirit that attacks seafarers unprovoked. Others cast it in a more positive light, suggesting it protects the sea from unworthy fisherfolk. Regardless if either reason is correct, the more relevant feature of these tales is the claimed actions of the spirit. Every tale we've investigated tells of freak storms where the sea itself seems to come alive. The watery form, lightning strikes and colossal waves bear a remarkable resemblance to what we have observed in the current events. Due to the tales being the starting point of our research, we have opted to call this entity the name that appears most commonly in the tales: Temporos. Now let's dive into the on-location research. The possibility of new equipment is being investigated, but until then we are limited to surface observation and tests. Our initial theory suggested Temporos to be some sort of elemental with its own power and sentience. However, our recent observations have raised some questions. When Temporos submerges, fish are drawn in and seem to amass within several whirlpools situated in the cove. Our original assumption was that these fish were merely being pulled in by currents outside of their own control. However, further observation of their behavior indicates that they are in fact coming together of their own volition. Magical readings at the location show a strong energies being emitted from within the cove, one that has not been registered in this area before from what we can find. For the purpose of these notes, and until further tests are carried out, this energy shall be referred to as spirit energy, and it is our speculation that the fish are drawn to it. It would appear the fish become infused with the energy in some way, emitting a soft glow. Some of the more resourceful members of the spirit anglers are investigating the use of skills shed by these spirit-infused fish as an attractor in their own fishing trips. If successful, it would be further reference for the theory. As more fish amass within the cove, the energy readings increase until Temporos surfaces, fish swirling about within its form. Perhaps this entity draws energy from the cove and the fish within it? Or perhaps it is itself an anomaly of the increased energy levels? There are many unknowns we are researching. However, our progress is hindered by the need to subdue Temporos on a regular basis to prevent the storms becoming unmanageable. Our working theory is that if the presence of many fish triggers the surfacing of Temporos, removing the fish should reduce the energy levels and subdue it faster than when the fish are left unchecked. Due to the fish being scattered at various depths and our inability to fish more than a couple of meters beneath the surface with the current conditions and equipment, we cannot prevent Temporos surfacing outright. However, we are able to prevent the storms from becoming too intense, greatly decreasing the disruption to sea passage. After various unsuccessful fishing attempts resulting in broken or lost nets, we found firing harpoons through Temporos itself quite successful in scattering the fish within, eventually resulting in Temporos retreating beneath the depths to draw the fish back in. This window allows us to fish directly from the whirlpools and remove surface fish, eventually preventing Temporos from resurfacing for a longer period of time. This method is costly. However, as the harpoons are lost to the depths, recent discoveries have yielded a solution to the harpoon supply issue. A strange type of fish appears to inhabit the reefs around the cove and seem indifferent to the spirit energy observed within the cove. The fish is similar to the swordfish, though its bill resembles a harpoon more than a sword. As such, we've modified our harpoon cannons to fire these so-called harpoon fish. And better still, we have a seemingly endless supply of them. We have noted that cooking the harpoon fish, while doing nothing for their edibility, does harden the bill, making them even more effective when used as ammunition. Our research into the nature of temporos and other, more permanent methods of subjugation continue to be our top priority. The research notes conclude with this sentence, but our story just begins, because we have a grind ahead. Oh my god, we are on the scary boat. We're going to fight the spirit of the sea. We need 2 items to move on to the next zone. The fish barrel, which holds 28 raw fish and is a great storage method, plus the 3rd book of this zone, the Tome of Water, which when charged holds unlimited water rooms. Each time we subdue temporos, we get rewarded with permits, which can be used to fish from the reward pool. The fish barrel has a 1 in 400 chance to drop, where the Tome of Water has a 1 in 1600 to drop. We can assume we need to gather a lot of permits. Now there is dedicated temporos worlds where big groups sail off to subdue the spirit, and although this is the most effective way for fishing XP, there's another method to optimize our permits per hour, running solos. That's right, we'll subdue temporos completely alone. Time for the first run. I am a little bit rusty, it's been a long time since I've done it, so I hope we get enough points, let's see. We're gonna follow the research notes and we remember that there are harpoon fish here, so let's fish those. And then we cook them because that makes them stronger against temporos, and in between it all we have to dodge temporos attacks. Now this is just a little splash, as long as we do it right. We tie ourselves to the totem and there we go, nice refreshment on a sunny day. And then it's time to scatter the fish within temporos by shooting the harpoon fish against them. Now temporos has been shooting crazy storms and we're gonna douse them by just throwing water over it. And we're a master of buckets! Now there is only one more thing to do, and that is fish the fish out of temporos so he can chill for a while and he's subdued. And that's it. We followed all the steps of the research notes. It's alright, buddy. Go take a rest. See you soon. Fast forward, we've done a few runs and notice we're often short on water buckets to douse the fires. Our fishing levels are just low and that makes solos also harder. We need to see if we can fix that. So I think getting one more water bucket will actually fix it, and to get one more space we need to get rid of these Castle Wars tickets. Oh, it's sad to say goodbye to Mr. Gandalf, but we're going back to classic. We're going back to what we started with, and that's this nice white decorative armor set. We are right how we started again. Look at how shitty we look, I love it, man. Now with that extra bucket, let's see how many points we can get in one single game. Now I did over 1000 runs across multiple accounts in my lifetime, but I never knew you restore run energy when you fish temporos. What? Big number coming in here, the level 60 fishing. 60? Look at that. Now we're getting up there, level 50 cooking. What? Sometimes you have to take a little break to watch the cute seagulls. Look at that. Ah, hey, don't run from me. Ever since I uploaded episode 1 of this series, I've been getting so much love from you guys. I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now we're averaging about 9 permits per game and we did 50 games. I think we're gonna go up till 100 KC and then we're going to try our luck at spooning everything. Panic! Panic! Help! Panic! I can't believe I'm going to say this, but we're level 70 fishing. Holy man, I think it's time to loot soon. Are you guys ready? Try our luck? Now remember, we have a 1 in 400 and 1 in 1600 chance to get what we want, so we need to spoon it here as we have 868 permits. We brought some clan members for good luck though. Alright, let's see what we have in... Oh my god! 1 in 1600? Within the first 100 pulls? What? No way! This is crazy! Blastoise 12 clan member is the lucky charm. Look at that legend, man. We need more clan members like him. But we got the book. We got the hardest thing. This is crazy. Okay. Are we gonna push our luck? Yes, we're gonna get the fish barrel as well. Let's go. Okay, surely this was a one tackle box. What? Although we don't need that, it's still, yeah, I mean, it's a 1 in 400 as well. So I guess we're super lucky. What? This is the craziest RNG I ever had in my life. A 1 in 1600 and a 1 in 400 within the first 100 pulls. Dude, that's worth celebration. Holy shit. So from now on, I need as many clan Lucky Charms as possible. So are you up for the task? Dude, just join the Unusuals, man. Join our little gang. Come on, we need the Lucky Charms. Now we have a tough choice to make because we still have 775 rewards left. And if we look at the collection log, it is worth trying. We can get the Dragon Harpoon, the pet, maybe some cool cosmetics. Let's just go for it. We're at our last pulls and we weren't as lucky, but I cannot complain. We spooned the shit out of everything else. And look at the materials we get. So many planks, so much stuff. Oh, it's very useful, and especially the cooking stuff as well. Now I spent a little bit of time cleaning everything up, and that gave us some stats as well. We got 27 crafting, 47 fletching, 43 magic. Very happy overall, but you know what time it is? It's time for the next zone. Let's go. Back in the Bookworm app, and here we have the runes of Unkah. We just spooned the fish barrel, I love it. We spooned the Tome of Water. We also dived into both zone stories, and that means the runes of Unkah is unlocked forever. We have to think about the next zone though, because we just spooned a lot. This episode would be very short if I would release it now, so to give you guys a little bit extra, a little bit of fluff during this episode, I want to unlock a zone that's also rather quick, and one of those zones is Draynor. We need to unlock Draynor anyway for X marks the spots at some point to get towards Current, so this is a great opportunity to get this small little zone out of the way. So we're gonna choose Draynor. Yes, baby! We need to get a Chronicle. We need to get the book on chickens, and we need to do some woodcutting for a log basket. Let's get straight into the zone. Draynor Village traces its earliest origins to the arrival of Count Draynor, a vampire of House Drakan, who was exiled from Mauritania by his own brother. Forced across the river south, a holy barrier consecrated to repel creatures of darkness, Count Draynor was greatly weakened by the crossing. He drifted westward with his servant Rantun until he reached a quiet stretch of land that would eventually bear his name. It is unlikely that the village existed at the time of his arrival, given that the village is named after him. By the late 4th Age, Draynor Village was grown steadily with the rest of Misselin. Following the creation of the runic altars, magical study flourished and led to the construction of the Wizard's Tower on a small island south of the village. Despite this progress, Draynor Village lives in constant fear of the Count, who preys upon its inhabitants from his mansion to the north. Adventurers are able to enter the mansion and slay the vampire, ending the threat indefinitely. One of the 2 books of this zone is the Chronicle. Now, although this book holds no specific lore, it still has interesting history. The Chronicle was put into the game during the 2016 Easter event, as celebration of their newly launched strategy game, Chronicle: Runescape Legends. Now, although this game wasn't successful and taken down 2 years later, the Chronicle remains one of the most pivotal items in the game, teleporting the player directly to the Champions Guild near Varrock. To this day, the teleport is still one of the most used teleports within the game. Now, before we jump into the second book, let's do some exploring. It's likely we're taking the exact route Count Draynor took that many years ago. We have arrived! If we ever want a Black Cape, we can get it there. And there's the threat, there's the Count Draynor. We're not going to do the quest just yet, but it's cool. It's cool to know the story and the lore. It just gives so much more feeling to the zone. And here, this is amazing. We can finally train agility. It's level 1, and we can do the rooftop course. That's amazing. I think we're going to train to level 20 at least, or 30 maybe. We are gonna do that for sure. But before we do anything else, I want to explore this zone a little bit more. We have access to ropes and we have access to dice there in the back. That's just amazing for some quests later on, so great to unlock that. We also have a Slayer Master here, which we cannot use because we didn't do the quest. And over there is where we're gonna find the Chronicle from the flopped game launch, but still an amazing teleport. And also what's amazing from this little square is here Fortunato. He sells jugs of wine, which heal 11 hit points. And now for the greatest bit, we have Django. We got our Chronicle, and let's buy some teleports for now. We've done it. We cannot use it yet because we did not unlock Varrock, but look at that, man. I love the equipable books, man. It just gives so much fashionscape to this specific account. I'm so happy with it. We got our book in hand, and that's great. But before we move on, we're gonna train agility because that will help us recharge our run energy so much faster. Let's go. Lap 100! Amazing way to find out if you have asthma or not. But here it is, 112 laps with level 30 agility! Yes, man, that's gonna help so much with the run energy recharge. And here we are in the wise old man's little house, and we grabbed the book. We grabbed the strange book. And there's another book. There's a second book on chickens. Oh my god, we're gonna dive in both of them. Let's go. Many are rumors and tales surrounding this foul beast. The earliest of these tales seem to date back to the time of the Majarat. It is a story about a mad mage who attempts to summon a demon and bind it to his will. Unfortunately, his spell failed, and all that appeared was one confused chicken. In a fit of anger at this failure, the mage banished the chicken to the abyss. The chicken, however, appears to have survived and grown in power. Years later, when the mage cast another spell of summoning, the chicken appeared. The story does not tell of what became of the mage, but I guess we can all assume. Another popular tale tells of a chicken of higher than average mental ability. Realizing that it and its kind were prisoners in their coops, he organized a rebellion against the human farmers. The farmers, of course, simply slaughtered the rebellious chicken. However, the evil chicken escaped. Blaming its brethren for the coop's failure, it swore revenge on all chickens and all humans. The chicken can strike anybody, anywhere. It is said that a coven worships this fell fowl and have even built a shrine to it. The exact location of this shrine is unknown, but it is rumored to be in the fairy worlds. Further rumor suggests that his lair is guarded by some fearsome beasts, but it may be reached by making a tasty offering, whatever that may be. Now, in the current state of the game, the evil chicken is in 2 locations across Gielinor, one of which in the Champions Guild. When fighting this chicken, you will gain a reduced experience rate, practically making your experience gain 0. Now there's a different version as well, which more closely aligns to the story, where you will fight the chicken during the Recipe of Disaster quest in the Fairy Worlds, and where it is indeed protected by beasts. Before the random event update in 2014, the evil chicken would randomly spawn and immediately start attacking players using a magic-based attack, which is extremely accurate and rapid. This made him very dangerous for players who are low on hit points or inattentive. Players were forced to either fight and kill the chicken or run away from it. Now, to anyone playing Runescape before 2014 will know and remember that the hotspot for cold chicken murder is, you've guessed it, Draynor Village. The coastal area was both then, and to this date, one of the most popular woodcutting hotspots in the game. And with woodcutting being a somewhat AFK training method, you can only imagine how many bodies the evil chicken left behind. Oh man, it was a massacre. It is for this reason that we are locked to this area until we collect the log basket. We've arrived at the chicken graveyard place and we're buying a forestry bag because this will trigger forestry events and those events will reward us with anima bark. With this bag equipped, we can participate in forestry events, randomly spawning while woodcutting. These events reward us with anima bark, which we can trade for various rewards, one of which is the log basket, which holds 28 logs. Again, very useful for our account. We need 5,000 anima bark and 300 willow and oak logs. It is time to chop! We're in a very busy world because that increases the odds for an event. This sailing update is such a vibe, man. Just look at it, how cozy this looks, and someone is just sailing here, showing off their big boat. We managed to cut 300 willow logs and we put them in the storage, and we have 300 now. We move on to oak. A few more shitshow events to go. This is utterly chaos.
Oak logs completed.
You gotta be kidding me! Oh, this is so rare and so useless. This is used for when you have a beaver pet to turn it into a pheasant. And we're gonna have to sell it here for 250. Oh, this hurts. And a lot of people will be very mad, but you know, we need the anima bark at the moment. I'm sorry for all you watchers and hunting this little egg. We're very close to 5,000. It is time! We can finally get the log basket! Here we go. We got all the logs and anima bark, and boom! There it is! Yes! We got it! We can move on to the next story! Oh! I can't believe it, baby. We just unlocked Draynor permanently because... log basket completed. Book on chickens completed. And the chronicle completed. Look at that. I'm so happy we're slowly greening up this zone. Now, if you noticed before, we also collected the strange book here. And the strange book is tied to the Wizard's Tower. So that's an obvious choice to unlock next. So we're gonna dive into the story of the Wizard's Tower. To dive into the writings of the strange book, we need to understand its owner, the Wise Old Man. The Wise Old Man is a legendary and powerful Saradominist wizard and former adventurer, currently residing in Draynor Village. In his youth, Dionysius, also called the Wise Young Man at the time, was a hero who roamed Gielinor to help those in need. One of these heroic feats was assisting the Keldegrim Black Guard in driving out a group of rogue ice trolls, led by the troll named Mother, who attempted to storm the city. Mother's group would eventually settle in Whis, vowing revenge on their sworn enemy. As he grew older, Dionysius began to feel bitter that he had not been adequately rewarded. By this time, he had taken residence in a small house in Draynor Village. His most notorious act was the robbing of the local bank, killing several people in the process. One of these unfortunate victims, a player named Alvinlocks, dropped a blue party hat, which the Wise Old Man claimed for himself due to its rarity and visual appeal. When speaking with him, he tells the player about his feats throughout Gielinor and recognizes the player's own accomplishments. As a result, he even rewards the Questscape to adventurers who've completed all quests in the game. This exploratory behavior led to his house being filled with relics, trophies, and books. The strange book resembles an educational introduction to natural philosophy, combining theories about knowledge and reality with the basic explanation of solving equations. The book has 3 chapters, and to not bore you, I've summarized the context. First, perception and reality. Our senses provide information about the world, but personal perception can vary. Color and temperature are therefore described as secondary qualities, because they depend on the observer. Measurable properties believed to exist within objects themselves are called primary qualities. Second, certainty and assumption. Because both our senses and reasoning can deceive us, almost everything can be doubted. The only undeniable truth is, I exist, since the act of thinking or doubting proves that some conscious being exists. Third, graphical mathematics. Linear equations can be drawn as lines on a graph, where 2 lines intersect. The coordinates give the values of x and y that solve both equations. Now, even when summarized, the strange book is a tough read with many abstract sentences. It gives us a little dive in what interests the Wise Old Man. The book ends with a section called Reader's Comments, where the Wise Old Man himself added notes. Better now. Walls look decent, nice and elegant. Those new lanterns were a rip-off, blasted dwarf craftsman. Still, not a problem for me. Even got my old Saradomin armor gilded. Beautiful gold edges on it now. No one else going to have armor like that. That will make them think. Lick of gold leaf here and there. Even my globe looks smarter now. Maybe that buff screen was a bit too much? No, I saw it. I wanted it, it's mine. Vidi, voli, midi est. Still don't know what that thing is, but it looks nice on my desk. Probably some kind of transport? Must run off hot air or dragon flatulence? Running a bit short of runes now. Those wizards over at the south always seem to have plenty. But will they spare me some? Bah, not a chance. Proxy mage scum. Perhaps another little expedition is needed. They all look pretty weedy over there. And speaking of that specific expedition, let's make our way towards the wizard's tower. Time to see how weedy these wizards actually are, but I think the weedy one must be the wise old man. Maybe he's the weird old man? Damn, that guy has some weird thoughts. Now this zone is considered a mini zone. There's not a lot going on here, but at least let's explore these weird little wizards. Starting at a beautiful library, we love to see it. Oh, it's so nice. And there's some random books as well. 101 ways to impress your mates with magic. I mean, doesn't sound very weedy to me. Now, other than those books, there's not much to find here. Just some wizards which we have to kill later for our zone task. But for now, let's also check the basement. So this place and this man, said Draynor, is very important because we can complete two very essential quests here later on. Now upstairs on the middle floor we have access to split bark armor now, which basically we cannot use now. At the top we have a lesser demon, that's always fun for some range training or magic, and we have access to imp catcher, and that's basically it. Now to stay in the line of the strange book, we are here for runes, right? To collect some runes, and the only way to do that is by killing wizards here. As you can see, besides collecting the strange book, which we just did, we need to obtain multiple runes by killing wizards. There's 10 total runes to collect, and the toughest ones to get are the blood rune and the law runes with a 1 in 128 drop chance. This should be a rather quick task. Here we go, already 1 down, 9 to go. Number 2. We killed about 30 of them and already have so many runes. There we go again, water runes, just a few more to go. Yes, blood runes! That's a tough one. Now we just need the law rune and we're done. There it is, the law rune! We are completed. This was such a quick and easy task. We killed 105 wizards, so we kind of spooned it. I'm very happy with this. We can make the wise old man very happy now by bringing these runes. But this also means the big moment is here. We're gonna go into the next zone, which is a massive one. This tiny little zone is completed, but that won't be the last of the Wizard's Tower, because as you can see here, there's 2 emblems here for the future. But we will save that for another day. For now, we completed the runes and we did the strange book. This whole zone is now unlocked and that is so exciting. The big moment is here. If you have been following the series, you know that our main goal was to unlock Varrock, and specifically Varrock East, because it will unlock the scale construction for us. Now I want to do the story and the zone Varrock justice, and that means unlocking the whole Varrock. And what better place to start than Varrock West, entering from the little farmlands into the city. So we're going to unlock Varrock West next. And this story is going to be great. Prior to holding its current name, the city was known as Varrock and came into being in the year 700 of the 4th Age. During this time, the races that had survived the God Wars began to compete for land without the direct aid of gods, and most of humanity lived in small nomadic tribes. One of these tribes, looking to settle in the forest, discovered a young boy who was about 2 years of age. The boy stood nearly a foot taller than most his age, and was already quite strong. The wanderers, taking the boy's strength as a good omen, chose that place to set up camp. 10 years since the initial settlement, the baby remained unnamed, and the elders decided to send the child on a quest to find one. The child eventually stumbled upon a tribe of goblins that planned to attack the settlement. When the goblins saw him, they attacked, screaming,
Araf.
The goblins were defeated by the boy, who returned to Varrock and recounted the tale, and was thenceforth known as Araf.